Hi, I'm Daniela Zavala. I'm the Communications Director of HECHO. It is my pleasure to welcome Jeronimo Vasquez, Supervisor of Coconino County and member of HECHO's Hispanic Conservation Leadership Council. We will be talking about the Grand Canyon and the importance of investing in our public lands. Thank you so much, Supervisor Vasquez, for joining me today.
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You have been a strong advocate for the Grand Canyon National Park and Bash Nuayo Itaf Kuveni ancestral footprints of the Grand Canyon National Monument. Let's begin with what makes the Grand Canyon region so important for residents of Coconino County and visitors.
The Grand Canyon is both a cultural and natural treasure, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. But for Coconino County, it is also a major economic engine. It supports over 11,000 jobs and contributes more than $1 billion annually to the region's economy. It sustains thousands of families through jobs in hospitality, transportation, retail, guiding services, and fuels small businesses throughout the county. Beyond economics, it holds deep cultural significance, especially for indigenous communities, and represents a shared sense of pride and identity for all of us who live nearby. Protecting the visitor experience and investing in the park's staffing and infrastructure is essential, not only to preserve its beauty and heritage, but to support the communities that depend on it. When the Grand Canyon thrives, so does Coconino County.
Since I moved to Arizona 11 years ago, I visit the Grand Canyon once, twice, or sometimes 3 times a year. And during my last visit, I noticed that the bathrooms of the park were very dirty in a way I have never seen them before, not even in peak season. Have you heard similar feedback from other people? Are the changes visitors are noticing connected to budget or staff cuts at the federal or county level?
Yes, I've heard similar stories, and unfortunately, they're becoming more common. People notice when standards slip, even in small ways like restroom upkeep, because they know that what the park should look and feel like. When visitors see that decline, it raises valid concerns about whether we're providing enough resources to keep up with demand. The changes visitors are noticing, such as decreasing cleanliness, maintenance backlogs, and fewer park personnel, are directly connected to federal budget cuts and resulting staffing shortages. Proposed budget reductions included as much as 31% cut in operational funding and a multi-billion-dollar rollback in previously committed budgets. This forces parks like the Grand Canyon to operate with fewer resources despite continued visitor demand.
When you hear people share concerns about their park experiences, what goes through your mind as a local leader?
It's deeply concerning when people say their visit didn't meet expectations, whether it's because of cleanliness, maintenance, or staffing shortages. It signals that we're at risk of losing something precious. I think about local workers who depend on tourism, families who cherish visiting the park, and our collective responsibility to care for this place. Those concerns reinforce why we must push for stronger investment in our parks, because the quality of a visitor's experience directly impacts both community pride and our economy.
How do staffing and resources at the Grand Canyon today compare to previous years?
Staffing and resources at the Grand Canyon National Park have declined significantly compared to previous years, largely driven by deep budget cuts during the Trump administration. The National Park Service lost over 4,000 full-time employees nationwide, a 24% reduction from 16,655 staff to around 12,600 staff as of mid-2025. These reductions place unprecedented strain on remaining employees and park infrastructure.
How do county leaders work with the National Park Service to address these resources challenges?
We maintain strong communication with NPS leadership. Our role is to advocate for our residents, for our environment, and for our economy. We often collaborate on emergency services, road maintenance, and planning efforts. When challenges arise, we try to bring partners together to find solutions. But ultimately, without increased federal funding, we're often just patching holes in a system that needs a full rebuild. We're also pushing at the state and national level to elevate the importance of sustainable funding for our public lands.
What steps are being taken or need to be taken to improve infrastructure, maintenance, and staffing at the park?
Sustained federal investment is essential to reversing the impacts from recent budget cuts and staffing shortages that have affected the Grand Canyon visitor experience. Since 2025, significant cuts have reduced park staff and operational funding, resulting in longer waits at entrance gates, reduced visitor center hours, and closures or limited access to trails, campgrounds, and recreational facilities. These changes directly diminish the quality of the visitor experience, with fewer rangers available for tours, education, and safety support. Legislation like the Great American Outdoors Act marked a positive step, but more comprehensive, long-term funding is required to hire and retain qualified staff, improve worker housing, and update critical infrastructure. On the local level, Coconino County continues to advocate and collaborate with the National Park Service, pushing to elevate this issue at state and federal levels so that the Grand Canyon once again can offer a world-class experience that matches the expectations of millions of annual visitors and supports the local economy and community pride.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Vasquez, for your time and insights at HECHO. We truly appreciate your advocacy for our public lands and our community. For everyone watching, please visit our website at hechoonline.org to learn more about our conservation and advocacy work.